What up, inside 1822? Back with another AEW Dynamite review. This show is all about one match, and that is the rematch from All In Texas for the World Heavyweight Championship, Jon Moxley versus Hangman Adam Page. Now, before I get to that match, if you want to know how I felt about the show overall, stay at the end of the review for my final overall thoughts on this show. So we know we have this tag team tournament match. Whoever wins this tournament will head to Forbidden Door to face the tag champions, the Hurt Syndicate, Outrunners versus Young Bucks. I don't love what you're doing with the Young Bucks. The Young Bucks didn't get a TV entrance, graced up AEW, and not even a nameplate on the TV screen. This was a fun tag team match. I'm a huge fan of the Outrunners. I hope someday they will be the AEW Tag Team Champion. The Young Bucks are your winner. Now, this post-match was weird to me. You had Okada come out. Okada, Bucks, attack. The Outrunners, Swerve come out to make the save. We all know about the program that just started between Swerve and Okada. The babyfaces stand tall. I get you want to insert Swerve here because Okada out there. But to me, I wish they found a better way to get to Swerve and Okada. Because throughout the rest of the night, we did not get an announcement that, hey, it's going to be a 6-man tag match taking place next week on Dynamite. But most likely, Tony Khan just going to do that on Twitter, which is not a good thing, Tony Khan. Put it on TV. Let people know the reason why we did this to get y'all to tune in and watch next week's show. But he did not do that right there. That's why I said it did not make sense at all. Give us a reason for inserting Swerve and Okada after this tag team match. You got to get better at that part, Tony Khan. You can't just announce it on Twitter. MJF was all over the show, which is no problem with me at all. He's one of the top stars in the company. Last week on Dynamite, Bobby Lashley, of course, gave him a thumbs down. And I'm happy to see Shelton Benjamin get some spotlight in the segment. He was not there. And also, Bobby Lashley wasn't there. Shelton Benjamin returned to what MJF gave him a couple months ago. Then he told him, I want you out, and gave him a thumbs down. After all this build they done with her syndicate and MJF, I wish that ending this thing with MJF will be much better. And I feel like AEW rushing this. It's like Tony Khan said himself, I'm not sure how I'm going to end this. Now, I know how this is going to end with MJF. I'll say this for my prediction when we get to Forbidden Door. But you look at the last couple weeks on AEW television, MJF was not really doing a lot of things to make Bobby Lashley and Shelton Benjamin say, I want you out the Hurt Syndicate. See, if we didn't have Forbidden Door and we were able to build all this up to AEW all out in September, it would have been a much better ride. But AEW had to rush the storyline between MJF and the Hurt Syndicate. Christian Cage is back. We haven't seen him since All In Texas after the patriarchy took him out. He had an interview with Tony Schiavone, but this time he let him keep his microphone in his hand. And Christian Cage started things out with saying he is an asshole, which popped the crowd. Now, this was a long promo, but I was not mad about it at all. He talked about everything that took place between the patriarchy and also Adam Cole when he told him to find himself. And after watching this segment, I was happy to see Christian Cage was not a white great babyface. He was still that same Christian Cage, saying he was shocked they had the balls to do that to him. So then after the promo was over, he get attacked by Kip Sabian and Nick Wayne. I know that Concerto did not look the best. Sometimes when you do something like that, you got to find the right angle, and they did not do a good job here. But you got to give them credit at the end of the day because they were able to get the crowd to say, fuck Nick Wayne. I never thought in my life I would see a crowd chant, fuck Nick Wayne, but they did their job. Nick Wayne, Christian Cage, definitely going to take place. A match I am looking forward to because it is a lot in story involved to get this match. Jon Moxley versus Hangman Adam Page. Now, I was surprised this did not close the show. It's the World Heavyweight Championship match. Of course, it was the longest match of the night. But Tony Khan, all you got to do is talk to the network and tell them what you want to do. This is your wrestling company. You got to find the right way to make sure this world title match closes your goddamn show. Because when you have the world title match at the second hour of the show, you telling fans at the match over, you can just tweet out and nothing else important is taking place. Bad job by Tony Khan. This match should have been the main event, and there's no excuse for it at all. But now, let's talk about this world title match. It was phenomenal. A lot of people say Jon Moxley can't put on good matches if it's not a gimmick. This was not a gimmick match by Jon Moxley standards. Everybody was banned from ringside. The pacing was excellent in this match. Now, they were able to find a way to get the Death Riders involved with a rough bump. You have Cody Castagnoli, Willa Yuta, carrying a distraction just for Marina Shafir to grab the world title. Jon Moxley hits Hangman with it, and I know a lot of people online were so goddamn scared of the possibility of Jon Moxley winning the world title back, but he did not do it. Hangman kicked out. The crowd in Chicago popped big time for it. Darby Allin came out, did his coffin drop on the Death Riders, and Hangman Page finished off Jon Moxley with a buckshot lariat. Still your AEW World Heavyweight Champion, Jon Moxley. Hangman Adam Page. Now, I'm not sure what's next for Jon Moxley and the Death Rider because the stable are still together. So, the only thing I can think about left is Blood and Guts, but usually AEW do Blood and Guts at the start of the year. Will they do it at AEW All Out? We shall see. Athena teams with Billy Starks versus Toni Storm and Alex Wistor. Most likely I got her last name wrong, but eventually I will get used to it. Her and Athena did have a kick-ass match on AEW Collision. I did like this match right here. Athena gets the pin on Toni Storm. Now, usually when you see that a part of a tag team match, that means in the championship match, the champion going to retain in that match. But this time I think it's going to be a bit different. MJF and Hangman Adam Page, I am loving what they're doing with these two. This stuff been going on for the longest. You know, MJF is trying to guilt Hangman into giving him this world title, even though he can get it anytime he wants. But it made perfect sense from a heel perspective. And Hangman told him I would not do it. And the reason why I love this feud between these guys so much because this started months ago before Hangman was the world champion. And MJF won a Casino Battle Royal match to win that clipboard to get a world title match. Usually in wrestling, you know, you got to win a briefcase like in W, then they will start the feud. No, this been building before all that took place. It's just Hangman beat MJF to the punch. But now MJF got opportunity to beat Hangman for the world title. That's why I'm loving the way AEW and booking Hangman Page story arc up to him winning the World Heavyweight Championship. I'm not sure when this match is going to happen, but I am looking forward to it whenever it takes place. Now, we get to the main event. Now, of course, the stakes involved is nowhere on the level of a World Heavyweight Championship. That's why it took me a while to get into this match, because I'm like, the World title match should have closed the show. But it's Mark Briscoe and Ricochet. Fine match. Mark Briscoe, healthy hand, over talent. He do anything Tony Khan asks him to do. Gets Agony out there. Bandino, Brody Kane gets out there to help out Mark Briscoe. There's a tag team match tomorrow on Collision. I was watching the show, but I definitely won't be reviewing the show. Collision got to be a much more important show for me to do that right there. By the way, Mark Briscoe gets the victory. He gets on the microphone, calls out MJF. MJF told Mark Briscoe they will have a match next week on Dynamite, but it was a pre-tape. MJF attacks Mark Briscoe. Then Hangman come out to make the save. MJF ended up running off. I would like this match to be a gimmick match because there's a lot of heat in this match between Mark Briscoe and MJF. So this was not a terrible way to close out Dynamite. Like I said, I just wish the World Title match was the way to end the show that did go with the overrun, and that's why the world title match was so goddamn long, which I'm not complaining one bit. So I did like this episode from AEW MJF Marlboro, so I'm definitely looking forward to the match, and also it will be the main event. So if you watch AEW Dynamite, give me your thoughts on the show. I will reply everybody in the comment section per usual, negative or positive. Hit the like button on this video. As always, don't forget, hit the subscribe button. I'm out. Peace.